Good morning, fifth graders. Today is September 29th, 2014, and today we are working with lesson 2, 2-4, and our question today is, how do we find the area of of all triangles? As you recall, last time we were working with finding the area of right triangles. And today we're going to carry that a little further, and we're going to start looking at how do we find the area of a regular triangle, of all triangles. First thing we're going to do today is we're going to draw two triangles here. And I'm going to do my best again to draw here. And let's just go, oops. And so this is triangle 1, and let's pretend that I didn't make a really messy triangle. And triangle 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes up to here. Triangle 2 is exactly the same, okay? What we would call in math parlance, we would call them congruent, okay? Congruent, which means congruent. I think I'm spelling that correctly. Which means they are exactly the same. Means this same as that, this is the same length as this, and then this is the same length as this one here. Now when we have these two triangles, what I want you to do is I want you to take triangle, if we label this triangle A, and label this triangle B, what I want you to do is I want you to take triangle B, and I want you to flip it over, and I want you to connect it right here. So this side is touching this side here. And if we do that, what we're going to have is, because this is this triangle, and all we've done is we've moved it and we've flipped it over here. So my question for you is, having done that, what shape have we made? Why don't you pause the video, talk to your table mates if you're watching. Otherwise, if you're watching by yourself, what shape have we made here? Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, what you came up with is that we made a parallelogram. Okay? Two triangles. When I take two congruent triangles and I flip them over and I flip one next to the other, it's going to make a parallelogram. Now, this happens to work with this triangle, which is, this is probably an acute triangle because we don't know if this is a right angle or not. So let's make another triangle then. Let's make an obtuse triangle. Okay? We know this is obtuse because of the obtuse angle right here. So that's about 4. And again, let's pretend that these are congruent triangles and they're exactly the same. Now, with these triangles, if I were to take this side here, and take this entire thing, and much like we did before, we're going to take this and flip it over here. These sides, this side here is going to line up with this side here, and we're going to have something that looks like this. And it's going to go over like that. And again, fifth graders, what shape did I make in that when I flipped this triangle over? Well, hopefully, fifth graders, you once again saw a parallelogram. So the question then becomes, let me here. Oops. What is the relationship between triangles and parallelograms? So I want you to think about, what's the relationship between a triangle and a parallelogram? Why don't you, if you're working with someone, talk about that, and if not, just pause and think, how are these two, triangle and parallelogram, how are they related? Hopefully you remember from our discussion on, or the last video when we talked about the perimeter, the area of a right triangle, hopefully you remember that a triangle is 1/2 of a parallelogram. So if I have two triangles together and they are congruent triangles, that I can make a parallelogram. So when we talk about when we talk about the formula for determining the area of a triangle, let's go. So what is the formula for area of a triangle? Why don't you take a second and try and write that in the margin. What's the formula for area of a triangle? And when you think you have a response done, why don't you first pause, and then when you're done, unpause the video and see if yours matches mine. Area of a triangle. Oops, sorry, I'm working with a keyboard here. Triangle. So as you can tell, I'm not the best typer. Is equal to 1/2 times base times height. And I wrote that out just because probably a good thing. Or if I want to shorten it, see if I can get or 1/2 base times height. Now I'm going to try and find a way if I can, if I just go like this, let's delete that, 1/2 base times height. And that is the formula for area of a triangle. And that's also the end of this video.